Hey guys and girls, this is Wager Detective here. Today is July 8th, 2026. We're going to get into this cap between the Toronto Blue Jays and the San Francisco Giants. Before we do that, be sure to follow Wager Detective on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Set alerts on Twitter, subscribe on YouTube. And thank you to all my fans out there, present and future. I love all you guys. This is a tremendous cap. I broke this one down from soup to nuts on this one. Okay, the Blue Jays are coming into this game. They're minus 118. The Giants are plus 100. The over-under is set at 7. Minus 108 to the over, minus 112 to the under. If we look at what the Blue Jays have done, they are 8-3 in the last 11 versus the Giants, plus 14 run differential. And when we look at what they do at the Giants, they're 4-3 in their last 7, plus 5 run differential. Plus 5 on the run differential department, 5 over and 2 push in those games. In the last 11 meetings versus the Giants, where they are 8-3 and plus 14 run differential, 6 over, 4 under, and 1 push in those games. Now, if we look at what the Blue Jays are doing in road day games this year, not really that good. I mean, we started off the cap with saying they're looking pretty good against the Giants in the last 11, but in road day games this year, the Blue Jays are 6-12, minus 30 run differential in those games, 10 over, 6 under, and 2 push in those games, and they're scoring 3.61 runs a game to 5.27. So in their road games this year, they're minus 166 runs per game run differential between their wins and losses. They were shut out. They've been shut out 4 times in their 18 road day games this year, and they've scored 5+ 5 times. Their opponents have scored 5+ 8 times in their 30 road day games and have scored 2 or less only 2 times. So very concerning there for the Blue Jays, but they are good 8-3 last 11 versus the Giants. Now, if we look at what the Blue Jays have done in the last 9, they're 4-5 in their last 9, but minus 13 in the run differential. They're scoring 2.77 runs a game to 4.22 for their opponents. Their last 9 games have been 4 over, 5 under. That's 7. And in their 4 or 5 last 9, they're minus 1.45 runs per game between their wins and losses. If we look at what they've done in interleague play, they are 14-17 in interleague action, 17 over, 10 under, and 4 push. So 14-17 against the interleague, 17 over, 10 under, and 4 push. They're minus 36 in the run differential in 31 interleague games. Minus 36 run differential. They're scoring 3.61 runs a game to 4.77 for their opponents. They've scored 5+ 11 times out of those 31 interleague games, and they've scored 2 or less 14 times in those 31 interleague games. Their opponents in interleague action have scored 5+ 12 times and have scored 2 or less 11 times. So another stat measure there where if you look at last 9 and you look at their road day, again, road day in 18 road day games, they're minus 30 run differential, and in their last 9, they're minus 13 run differential, and interleague action, they're 14-17, and they're minus 36 run differential. Out of those 31 games, again, in interleague play, 17 have gone over, 10 have gone under, and 4 push. If we look at what they're doing, and as far as the situational split, the road series with no rest, they are 1-4 in their last 5, dating back to last year, before the All-Star break. This year, they lost the game 5-9. But 1-4 in their last 5 from road series to road series with no rest on the horizon. That game before they head to the next series, they are 1-4 in their last 5, scoring exactly 3 runs per game to their opponent's 4 runs per game, 1 over, 2 under, and 2 push in those 5 games there. Now on the mound is going to be Dylan Cease, where the Blue Jays are 4-1 in his last 5 starts, plus 7 run differential, 1 over, 3 under, 1 push. The Blue Jays are scoring 3.8 to 2.4 for their opponents in Cease's last 5 outings. The wins came against Seattle, Houston, Boston, and Philly. The loss came against Texas. They've scored 4+ 3 times in Cease's last 5 outings. They've scored 2 or less only once. And their opponents have scored 4+ only 1 time and 2 or less 4 times in Cease's last 5 outings. So that's a bright spot for them. Last 5 outings for Cease, he does have a 1.73 ERA, a 1.13 WHIP. He's only given up 5 home runs on the year and 90.1 innings pitched. On the year, the Blue Jays are 10-6 when Cease starts, 6 over, 7 under, 3 push. They are plus 12 run differential there. They're scoring 4 runs a game to 3.25 for their opponents. And he is going to be on. So in his throughout the year, he does have a 2.79 ERA and a 1.18 WHIP. And Cease is going to be on 4 days rest here. And in his last 5 outings, in his last 4 outings, he has pitched well over 100 pitches in his last 4 outings. And he's going to be on 4 days rest here, where he pitched 102 pitches in his last outing. Now, if we look at what the Blue Jays have done on the road when Cease starts this year, the Blue Jays are 4-3, plus 14 run differential there. They're scoring 4.71 runs per game to 2.71 for their opponents. And in 7 road games for Cease this year, he has 39 1/3 innings pitched and has a 2.74 ERA and a 1.27 WHIP. Has only given up 3 home runs, but the walks seem to be a problem. He does have 18 walks in 39 1/3 road inning pitched. Now, he is going to be, like we said, on 4 days rest here. And the Blue Jays, again, 4-2 when he starts on 4 days rest, plus 7 run differential. They've lost the last 2 games that Cease has started on 4 days rest. And in his 6 starts on 4 days rest, 3 over, 1 under, 2 push. In 6 starts on 4 days rest this year, he does have a 3.51 ERA, a 1.29 WHIP, and giving up 0.81 home runs per 9. So the walks seem to be following wherever he goes, whether it's the road or 4 days rest, or on the year. And even in his last 5, he does have 15 walks in his last 5 outings. They don't seem to hurt him because he hasn't given up a home run in his last 5 outings. So could it be that this game where he, that could be a concern here? Now, if we look at what else do we have on Cease? Versus San Francisco in his last 5 outings, the results for his teams have been 2-3, but plus 4 in the run differential. His teams are scoring 4 runs a game to 3.2 for their opponents. In Cease's last 5 outings versus San Francisco, 2 over and 3 under to that 7. His last 5 versus San Francisco, he does have a 4.18 ERA, a 1.29 WHIP, and giving up 0.96 home runs per 9 in 28 innings pitched against. So his last 28 innings pitched versus San Francisco, 13 earned runs, 11 walks, 3 home runs, 25 hits. Again, comes out to a 4.18 ERA, 1.29 WHIP. Now, Cease during the day, he is 3-3 this year when he has a day start. The Blue Jays are 3-3 when Cease starts during the day this year. Plus 2 run differential, 4 over, 1 under, 1 push. And in those games, the Blue Jays are scoring 5.33 runs a game to 5 runs a game for their opponent. Comes out to 10.33 runs per game in those 6 games, which is 2.83 runs higher on average than the total that's set today. And in his 6 starts during the day this year, where the Blue Jays are plus 2 run differential, he does have a 3.77 ERA, a 1.39 WHIP, and 0.87 home runs per 9. So a lot there to unpack there as we get into the rest of this cap. So they're doing good against the Giants, 8-3 in last 11, but not so good in road day games where they're 6-12, minus 30 run differential. Interleague action, 14-17, but minus 36 run differential. And road series to road series, they are with no rest going back to last year before the All-Star break. They are 1-4 in that spot, minus 5 run differential. But the bright spot comes back to the fact that when Cease starts, they seem to be winning. They're 4-1 in their last 5, plus 7 run differential. On the year, they're 10-6, plus 12 run differential. On the road, they're 4-3, plus 14 run differential. And 4 days rest, 4-2, plus 7 run differential for the Blue Jays. And again, it comes back a little bit when he goes against San Francisco, where his teams are 2-3 in his last 5. And he does have a 4.18 ERA and a 1.29 WHIP. And then during the day, it's kind of split. 3 wins, 3 losses when Cease starts during the day, plus 2 run differential. And teams are scoring. They're finding ways to get to him after this. My main concern with this game is Cease is on 4 days rest and is coming off of 102 innings pitched. 102 pitches thrown. So, when you factor that in, I could see why the line is kind of as close as it is. I see the 125 on the screen. I saw earlier it was a little different than that. It was a more closer line. I think the 125, as we get into this cap, could be a little bit off. Now, if we look at the Giants are 5-5 in their last 10, 19-23 at home this year. They're 3-3 in extra inning games, 9-11 in 1-run games, and 8-12 in interleague play. So they are, again, 9-11 in 1-run games, where the Blue Jays are 11-15 in 1-run games, and they're pretty much even. They're 19-24 on the road for the Blue Jays and 19-23 at home for the Giants. The Giants playing marginally better over the last 10, where they're 5-5. Blue Jays 4-6. So the Giants, again, they're plus 100 today per FanDuel, as it was earlier. In home day games this year, the Giants are 9-8, plus 6 run differential. So if you look at that, considerably better than the Blue Jays, right? Where the Blue Jays are 6-12, minus 30 run differential. The Giants are 9-8, plus 6 run differential, 8 over, 8 under, and 1 push in those games. In 17 home day games for the Giants this year, they scored 5+ 9 times and 2 or less 7 times. Their opponents have scored 5+ 7 times and have scored 2 or less 4 times. Last 9 games for the Giants, they are 4-5, minus 12 run differential. And if you look at the Giants, going back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, in their last 7 games, they've alternated losses and wins. Loss, win, loss, win, loss, win. And their last game was a loss against the Blue Jays. So their last 9, they are 4-5. Like we said, 8 over and 1 under in those games. So 8 over and 1 under in the Giants' last 9, where they're 4-5. They're scoring 4.77 runs a game. Their opponents are scoring 6.11 runs per game. They've scored 5+ 4 times in their last 9 outings. Their opponents have scored 5+ 5 times. The Giants have only scored 2 or less 1 time in their last 9 games, and their opponents have scored 2 or less twice. In interleague action, the Giants are 8-12. They were swept at Tampa Bay, and they were swept by New York. So that's 6 of their losses right there, which is half their losses. Swept by Tampa Bay and swept by New York. We can all assume that Tampa Bay and the Yankees are better than the Toronto Blue Jays. In 20 interleague games this year, where the Giants are 8-12, minus 9 run differential. So we look at that; they're 8-12 in interleague, minus 9 run differential. We said the Blue Jays are 14-7 in interleague action, minus 36 run differential. So even though they're 8-12 and minus 9, they're 4 times better in the plus minus differential. Now I know the Blue Jays have had 31 interleague games, and the Giants have only had 20. That's about 11 game different, but they're still minus 36, and the Giants are minus 9 in interleague play. Giants are scoring 3.85 runs per game in interleague action to 4.3 for their opponents. They've scored 5+ 7 times, about 33% of their games against the interleague. Their opponents have scored 5+ 9 times in interleague action. Now this is going to be a home-to-home, no rest for the Giants. They're going to go home series to home series with no rest on the horizon. And in those games before the next series starts, they are 1-3 in their this year. 2 over, 1 under, 1 push. They're minus 6 run differential. They are scoring 4 runs a game to 5.5 for their opponents, and that comes out to 9.5, which is 2.5 runs higher than the total that's set today. So you could see how this game could get to an over here. Like we said, it could be interesting to see that happen. Now, when we get to who's on the mound for the Giants today, it is going to be Logan Webb. And in his last 5 outings, the Giants are 2-3, minus 5 run differential, 1 over, 3 under, 1 push. They're scoring 3.4 runs a game to 4.4 for their opponents. And in Webb's last 5 outings, his wins came against Atlanta and the Cubs. Losses came against Colorado, Miami, Washington. And if we look at what he's done in his last 5 outings, Webb's been fantastic. He has a 2.65 ERA, a 1 whip, and 0.79 home runs per 9. So even though they're 2-3 in their last 5, they're just not scoring runs for Webb when he's out there. Because again, a 2.65 ERA in his last 5 outings for Logan Webb and a 1 whip. Okay, so on the year, the Giants are 5-10 when Webb starts, a minus 18 run differential. That run differential was even furthered by the loss in his last outing, where he got clobbered by Colorado, just absolutely smashed them. So this is another reason why I could be leaning to the Giants here. He had a bad outing at Colorado. Now he's coming back home to the friendly confines of his home stadium. So it should be interesting there. But on the year, the Giants are 5-10 when Webb starts, minus 18 run differential in those games. 3.66 ERA, a 1.17 whip, and he's only given up 7 home runs in his 15 starts this year, of quite a number of innings. I don't have that here on me, but it was a number of innings. So 7 home runs. Now at home this year, the Giants are 2-5 when Webb starts at home this year, minus 10 run differential. He does have 46 innings pitched. in 7 home starts, 3.32 ERA, and a 1.06 WHIP. Now, if we look to see during day games, the Giants this year, they're 1-4, -4 run differential, 4 under, 1 push in those games. In Webb's 5 starts during a day game this year, he has 37 innings pitched. He's only given up 2 home runs and 7 earned runs for a 1.32 ERA and a 1.05 WHIP. And that is the case file on this game. Now, if we look at it, there's some ups and some downs. I do believe if the Giants can score, I think what it comes down to here is the Giants have been good after a loss in their last 7 games. Loss, like we said, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win. Yesterday, loss. I like the pattern recognition there that they could win here. I like the fact that the Giants, even though they're 9-8 in home day games, they're +6 run differential, where the Blue Jays are 6-12 in road day games, -30 run differential. So when you look at those things, you kind of start to worry. I mean, the best thing that's going for the Blue Jays right now is they are pitching Dylan Cease, which again, Blue Jays 4-1 in his last 5 starts, +7 run differential. Wins come against Seattle, Houston, Boston, and Philly. That's impressive. And the 1 loss coming against Texas. I mean, there's some good bright spots for what Cease does. I think the thing that stands out for me is when he pitches during the day in his last 5 versus the Giants. Again, last 5 outings versus the Giants when he was with San Diego primarily, 4.18 ERA and a 1.29 WHIP. And again, in his day games this year, even though the Blue Jays are 3-3, they're +2 run differential. He does have a 3.77 ERA and a 1.39 WHIP in those 31 innings pitched. So you're going to get free passes. It looks like, from the numbers I'm looking at, Cease could run into problems with walks. Now the question becomes, what do they do with the walks, the Giants? You know, you look at some of those guys in the lineup. You got Arias, great hitter. Helio Ramos, very, very good. Schmidt can be good. Devers can do something to you with 1 swing. I like Willy Adames. And I look at the Blue Jays lineups. They're just not consistently built. Like I said, the thing that stands out to me for them in favor of them is they're 8-3 versus the Blue Jays in the last 11 outings, where they're +14 run differential. But if you break it down and isolate it, they're only 4-3 last 7 at the Giants, 5 over and 2 push. None of those games went under, and they're +5 run differential in last 7 outings at the Giants. So win, loss, win, win, loss, loss, win. I mean, guys, if I'm looking at this game right now, I gotta believe that the Giants are just a slightly bit more value based off of the Blue Jays and their road day games, 6-12, and then how they play in their last 9, where they're -13 run differential. I'm not saying the Giants are much better. They're 4-5 in their last 9 games, but -12 run differential. You know, you look at it, it's kind of like, I think the main thing that's going for the Blue Jays is Cease, and you got Cease that is, I forgot to mention this, in his last 18 days pitched, he's pitched 420, he's going to be, last 18 days, he's pitched 427 pitches in 4 starts. So he's going to come into this game, and then it's going to be 18 days. He's pitched 427 pitches. His last 4 outings have been over 100, 112, 105. And on 4 days rest, when Cease pitches on 4 days rest after a 5-day rest outing, the Blue Jays are 2-2, -3 run differential in there, 2 over and 2 under in those games. So it's going to be interesting to see. I think if I'm the Giants, I'm trying to work the pitch count. I'm trying to give my team a chance to win. And I do believe if they can do that, work the pitch count and take advantage of free passes that I'm sure Cease is going to give up today. I'd love to get a total on what his walks would be, but if it's 2.5, definitely taking over that. If you could find that, taking over 2.5, and if you can get plus money at over 3.5, you might take that too. Because, and if he gives up 4 walks, even if he gives up 3 walks today, any free passes, it's going to be interesting to see how they treat this game, because like I said, he's going to go. They're going to push him. Last 4 outings for Cease, well over 100 pitches. But I like Webb's numbers. I like the fact that the Giants are playing a little bit better in home day games. You know what I'm saying? 9-8 plus 6 run differential, and their last 9 they're 4-5, but minus 12 run differential. Interleague action they're 8-12, but only minus 9 run differential. Where the Blue Jays are 14-17, minus 36 run differential. So I'm just looking at this and I'm just saying I believe this is a Giants spot. Even though you look at the pitching from Cease, he can keep you in a game. I'm just going to count on the Giants and the guys that they got to give Cease and the Blue Jays a little bit more trouble. This is Wager Detective here, reporting live. I'm in Atlantic City right now. Beautiful day down here, and we're en route to getting to the book. And I just want to say, follow Wager Detective on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Turn this video on, listen to it through your headphones on, and as you start reading these reports and listening to them, you're going to find an edge that Wager Detective is going to give you when he's sending you to the book to make your bet. Wager Detective calling the Giants today. Let's see if we can bring up whatever the line is. I should be able to get this because I don't have a lot of traffic around me right now. Let's see if this comes up yet. All right, let's see. Major League Baseball, the over/under 7. I would say over 7. Here's the reason why. A lot of numbers were coming in close to that 7, landing on 7. Numbers, a lot of the stats I looked at were going over this number with these pitchers and different splits. I would take the over here, and I would take the Giants plus 108. Listen, at the end of the day, I know that this line shouldn't be minus 126. I think this is more of a closer game, and I think you're getting value with the Giants. I know Webb hasn't been pitching good all year, but I do believe he shows up here. I believe he gives the Blue Jays problems, and I put this game closer to a minus 110, minus 110, if anything. Minus 112, minus 108 for my numbers. I think with the 108, you're getting value. With the minus 126, you're not. So that's the call here. Wager Detective, July 8th, 2026, calling the Blue Jays to lose to the Giants. Giants are going to win this game. It's 3:40 right now. I got to post this. Thank you to all my fans. Follow me on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon.